y'all, I'm back. It's about 2:40 in the afternoon. I'm about to prep for dinner, so I'm gonna cook a roast tonight. I'm pretty sure this recipe is probably the same as everyone else's, but I thought I'd just show you guys how I do it. So I have my roast here. I've prepped all of my vegetables. I'm gonna add carrots, onion, green bell pepper, and potatoes. And this is something that I haven't done before, is add mushrooms. So I'm gonna use the juice from when it's almost done. I'll take some of that juice out of the pot and make a mushroom gravy, and I'll add the mushrooms towards the end because I don't want them to dwindle down to nothing. And I'm also going to have some green beans tonight. I had a yellow bell pepper in the fridge, so I'm going to add that, and along with some extra onions that I just had from a previous dish. And I bought 2 potatoes, but I figure one was just enough. So what I did was I just diced up the other potato, cut it in half and diced it up, and I'm going to use these for breakfast potatoes. So I'm going to stick these in the freezer and have those for breakfast potatoes. So some of the seasoning that I'm going to use, I found this at Publix. It's Tabitha Brown. I have not used this before, but it's salt free. So I'm going to use that in my green bean dish. I love rosemary, one of my favorite flavors, so I will add some rosemary and a little dash of salt to my green beans. And of course some onion powder and garlic powder. For my meat, I will season it with garlic powder, a little Lowry's. I will add a bay leaf, some black pepper, and what's that back there? Onion powder, Trader Joe's 21 Salute. This is 21 seasonings, but this is salt free. And also some mushroom umami flavoring from Trader Joe's. This has salt in it also, so I'm going to be very light-handed with the mushroom seasoning and the Lowry's because we don't need all that salt, right? And so I'm going to brown my meat. I'm going to season it real good. I'm going to let it sit out and come to room temperature, and I'll season it. Well, I'll season it and let it sit out for a little while longer to come to room temperature because I like to brown my meat first. So I have an aluminum pan here. I have some nonstick pans, but I don't think that you can get a good sear with the nonstick pans. So I have an aluminum pan here, and this pot here, this Dutch oven, if you want to call it that, I got that from Pampered Chef many, many years ago. It cooks wonderfully. And I think that's why I don't have to add any water or anything to my roast. So I'm going to go ahead and season this up. And of course I'll season my vegetables too. And I'll brown my meat and get started. Here's my well seasoned meat. Don't forget to get the sides, season the sides too. So I'm about to get a good sear on this. And I made sure that I season it well and actually pat the season down into the meat so it sticks. And I'm going to sear it with some vegetable oil. Okay, so here I made sure that the pan was hot before I put my meat in and that I got a good crust on the meat. And I will use my tongs to turn the meat on its side to make sure even my sides get a good crust on them. And then once I put it in here, I have my oven set. Oh my goodness, I forgot to turn on my oven. I'm going to bake it at about 300 degrees. Preheat the oven. I want to cook it low and slow. So I'm going to start at 300 degrees. And I'm going to cook my meat for maybe about 45 minutes to an hour first. Then I'll put in my vegetables because I don't like mushy vegetables. I went ahead and threw the mushrooms on top rather than waiting any further. So the meat's been cooking for about 45 minutes. So I put my vegetables in, mushrooms on top, and I had some extra green onions, so I threw that on top also. So back into the oven. Okay, so here's the finished result. You can break it up with the spoon, as you can see. Oops. You can break it up with the spoon. So meat's nice and tender, got lots of gravy there. I meant to say that I usually add celery, but I didn't have any celery and I wasn't going to go to the store to get any. But I think the mushroom flavor would be nice. So this will last me for the rest of the week, maybe. And then here are my green beans. I did not use that Tabitha Brown seasoning because you had to add amino, so I think it's more of a sauce. So I just added some additional seasonings that I have in the counter. And again, I did not put water in this pan here. It makes its own kind of sauce. So these are almost done. Maybe 5 more minutes because I like my green beans with a little crunch to them. So I'm gonna let it sit for a while, and then I'm gonna grub and get on YouTube and listen to phone calls from prison, the Shirley Strawberry debacle. So if anybody else is listening to those phone calls, let me know what you think about them. But anyway, here's my dinner for tonight. Hope you guys have a great day. See you guys in the next video. Peace.